YouTube, Rumble. Try to put this on both. Um, if you actually encounter law enforcement at your door, you never answered the door. There are so many lawyers on YouTube that are actual lawyers, not me. Common sense would say that plain sight doctrine, if I can see it or you can see it, you stand at your own door, and you look in sometimes, and you see what you can see of your own house, and you see what they see. Because if they're knocking on your door, they're going to be doing just that. They're looking back there. They want to see what's behind you. The stolen election. They want to see where you stand, because they can get a lot of information just from you opening the door, quick looking, and seeing what's behind you. That's why you never leave anything incriminating laying out. See, they even walk up to your house, look in your car, plain sight doctrine. In your yard, plain sight doctrine. See, they ain't even supposed to be coming on your property without a warrant or probable cause. That's why you have a gate, a fence, and a gate. A fence and a gate, or a wall with a gate and a fence, or whatever, and you have a sign that says, don't have a warrant, go away, basically, no trespassing, period. And you put that sign out there that says, I do not answer questions, I do not comply with searches and seizures, and I record everything. This property is under surveillance. And you put it out there and put it right on the fence or on the wall or on the gate. You let the cops know before they even open that gate. If you open that gate without a warrant, well, you'll be litigation and lawsuit will ensue. See, I'm not a lawyer. Don't take my advice to heart, but that's what I would do. Common sense says that you protect your properties from thieves and criminals, let alone the government. Common sense says that you could take that little bit of initiative to put that barrier in between you and the neighbors, or you and the criminals, or you and the. And then that way, if somebody comes on your property, they're trespassing. Period. See, your security, your privacy is your responsibility. Out in public, there is no expectation of privacy. But your security, when you're out and about, that is your responsibility. Knowing how to defend yourself, how to handle yourself, knowing your surroundings all the time. Situational awareness when you're out and about is a must. Having your head on a swivel and kind of being secure in what you're doing, that's a must. Common sense says, hey, I'm going to look around, I'm going to use the little TV. You know, in Walmart have those little TVs that shows that you're being watched. Well, that's fine. Use the TV to see who's behind you. And remember, those cameras at Walmart are recording all the time. So if you think you're going to go steal or something, they're going to get your face on security cameras because they're protecting their property. Those corporations, those government buildings, and everything else, they do everything to protect their property. So why shouldn't you protect yours? I mean, if they're doing that, putting cameras everywhere, there's all kinds of little cameras you can get. Security cameras, hidden cameras, spy cameras, whatever. Trail cameras you can put around your property that people don't see. You can have your property completely under complete surveillance if you really wanted. So it's possible to say, yeah, I'm going to protect myself and do everything there is to protect myself. I know a lot of people, when they buy a house, they want that view, that beautiful view. I do too. So you build a wall that doesn't block the view, but it pretty much tells everybody this property is protected. Don't block the view, but I'm sorry, if I lived in a neighborhood, if I got the view on this side of the house, that side in between the houses, I'm protecting the privacy on that side. You have to plan your properties well. If you have a storm shelter, a bunker, or whatever put in, you don't put it out where people can just willy-nilly see it, because they see that you have one, and law enforcement decides, well, I got to see what's in that storm shelter. If they don't know you have it, then there you go. Those plastic sewage or septic tanks that are brand new from the farm stores that you can put in the ground and hide. You can hide a lot of stuff in those things. Some of those are, 1,000 gallons or more? Well, you don't use them for septic. You use them for putting stuff in, like your survival equipment or your ammunition or whatever. Temperature controlled. The ground will keep it cool. The ground, and if you don't poke holes in that plastic and you make that thing sealed and watertight, it'll protect everything in that plastic. And you bury it in the ground and you make it look like a septic tank. Well, law enforcement's really not going to think about looking for those unless they want to open septic tanks. And then if you have a real septic tank plus that one, they open the wrong one, they're going to get, whew. Yeah. And besides that, I wouldn't tell anybody where I put it either. The right one. I would keep that only knowledge. Yeah. I would only let family members know. But even that, I would only let family I can trust know. So, like I said, everything you do, you put mirror tinted tint on your house windows. Because if somebody can stand out on the sidewalk and see, they can look at your house and record your house. Take pictures of your house. You don't want them to see inside the house. So you put that tinting film on your window so they can't see inside the house. Yeah. That's why you have, I don't like bushes up next to the house, but bushes out, away. Privacy bushes away from the house that, 50 foot tall? Whatever. Even drones now. People taking pictures of drones, flying drones over. You have to protect from those now. See, your privacy on your property is your responsibility. I hear a lot of people worried about what government is doing about tracking devices and all that. Well, that's why you check your vehicle all the time. Look underneath it. Have that little mirror thing that you can buy, and you can look to see if there's anything underneath the car, in the tire wells, in the engine compartment that looks suspicious. GPS tracking is real. That's why these new cars they were demanding that you put a kill switch in your car, a GPS tracker in the car. Why do you think all these new cars have these GPS things on them? Because the government wants to know what you're doing. Look at OnStar. Look at all these other different devices that come on your vehicle, your brand new vehicles. They want to track you. Big government, and we're going to hope that Trump is going to come across And he's going to fix this to where they don't track you, because that's one thing he mentioned, where they can't surveil you without a warrant. Spying on the American people has been going on for far too long. Our law enforcement has this big thing in their head that they're allowed to do whatever they want. They can walk in somebody's house, no problem, no questions asked. That's why you record cops. They can go around beating on people or whatever to find the criminals. You know, they're going after the innocent people. They're not going after the real criminals. So every time you deal with law enforcement, you got to be smart. And you got to think like an officer. What are they looking at? What are they looking for? And if they start asking a million questions, just tell them, I don't answer questions. What is the probable cause? What's the articulable reasonable suspicion? I'm not a lawyer, but you can go ask a lawyer and they're going to say pretty much the same thing. Don't consent, don't answer questions, and definitely record the cops. And they're going to tell you everything I say is pretty much, because your property is your property. You paid for that property. You got to protect that property. Your car, your vehicle. You can put spy cameras in your car and really catch cops if they decide to slap something on under the seat and say, oh, look what I found. You can get spy cameras for that. Cameras that they don't even notice that are in the car. See, it's sad that we have to work to protect ourselves from our government, because our government is so corrupt that they'll do anything to violate your rights. I've heard of people in this area where I'm at talking about how cops love to take the SD card out of the cameras and they don't return the SD cards. That's why you take a picture, serial number and everything of that SD card, and if it comes up missing, when cops they illegally confiscate your cameras or the SD cards, you can look at them and say, where's this SD card? It was in that camera. You have records of that card. Because if you keep records and you go to court and you can say, well, they kept the SD card. Why? You know, their body cameras and all that is public records. I've mentioned that many times. And there's a lot of channels that telling you that that's public record, and you should be educating yourself on all these new laws and all how everything's going to flip. When Trump takes office, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to flip on its head. So you need to educate yourself and get prepared, because we don't know what's actually going to happen when Trump takes office. He says a lot. So what is actually going to happen? We don't know. Educate yourself today. Get prepared. Protect yourself. Never talk to government. I don't care who they are. Never comply to searches and seizures. Never consent. If you go through the checkpoints that are illegal, the smog in California, they do smog checkpoints or checkpoints for whatever. DUI checkpoint is the only one that was actually deemed legal, which I think is still a violation. You don't answer questions. Don't roll the window down beyond that much. There's a lot of things you should be learning for yourself. Don't comply with checkpoints. A lot of those checkpoints are illegal. If they're saying we're doing a driver's license checkpoint, tell them no. Not without a warrant. And if a cop gets mad at you and gets frustrated, let him get frustrated. If he tries to arrest you, let him arrest you. If he writes you a ticket or a citation or whatever, let him write it. You take it to court, take it to a good lawyer, a civil rights lawyer, and you show him your videos. And you say, I want to file a lawsuit. I'm going to file complaints. I'm going to file a complaint against the department, against the police department, the city, and the officer and everybody else. I'm going to file every lawsuit I can. And you get it on record that they violated your rights. Have a good day. God bless.